when it comes to dating, some people do not like dating outside their race. Some people do. Some people see it as problematic. Some people don't. So I mean, you want me to take this one first, or you? What's your thoughts? Or
just what in regards to what is having
race as a preference? Do you think having race as a preference is right or wrong when it comes to dating?
I think, like as I was saying, with like standards and stuff like that, within standards, physical, mental, financial, all that sort of shit. Within physical standards, like everyone's gonna have preferences. Just so be it. Like some people, you know, I think race can be included within that. It's hard. I don't know. Like, cause it's hard to say in the sense of like, okay, that's totally wrong that you won't date outside your now, because it's there's no telling, in my opinion, if the person actually finds the person attractive.
Yeah.
You know? And so with it being that, like, that's tough. But yeah, I think it is a little tough to say, like, okay, me as a white man, I never find a Mexican woman attractive.
Yeah, yeah.
To say that on a grand scale of everything is pretty nuts. Because you haven't seen every Mexican woman in the world, you know? And so I think when you look at that in that regard, yeah, if you're totally closed off from it, I think it is definitely an issue. But if you've yet to find somebody who meets your preferences,
yeah,
I don't think that's necessarily an issue.
Yeah. See, I'm on the basis of like where you were going where you were going prior when you said you haven't seen all the, like, you know, Mexican women in the world, or whatever. Like I definitely think that people like to box themselves up in things without even having the experience of other things, you know. And sometimes it could be just you're really stern and keen on certain things and you already know exactly what you want. That's, you know, that's fine. But if it comes to like in a judgmental state, I guess that's where I can see it as being wrong.
Yeah.
But I will say there's a lot of people who sometimes do say that they prefer certain races, and sometimes I just be like, all right. Like I remember, it's a funny story because it's somebody you know, but I'm gonna tell you the person's name after. But
yeah,
somebody that we both know.
I wonder if I'll be able to know prior to you telling me by this story. We'll see.
Yeah, I'll tell you I'll tell you this much. They worked with me for a little bit. But
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So they were talking to this one girl, and she was mixed. She was mixed with black and white, but she only liked white guys. And then one day she was on the phone and she was talking about like stuff, and then I think they were joking around with her and said like, yeah, you need to you're gonna get you a black guy one day or something like that. Something funny like that. And then she was like, I'll never put a black D in me.
What the hell?
I was like, are you serious? Like, girl, you came from a black D. Like, how does that make sense? How does that make sense? But I guess she's stern on what she wants and she's driving it home. But I mean, I don't know. For me, for me personally, I wouldn't consider race a preference. And I feel like everybody can have their thoughts on how they want to operate in that sense. And if you feel like you need to have race as a preference, then by all means do so. But for me personally, I just wouldn't, because going back to what he said, like it's just so much of a broad range of different races out here and so many different people, and all there's beauty in all races. And being that I haven't seen everybody, I couldn't just judge somebody and be like, oh, I couldn't date this race just because what I'm seeing in my city, you know, or, you know, or my town or on TV or whatever the case is. I couldn't just judge a race particularly on that. Because, shoot, I might go to a certain area and be like, well, dang.
Yeah.
You know? I'm shocked.
Nah, and
That surprised me.
in the regard that you said it too, like not being a preference. Yeah, I think like if you are of the thought where it's like, hey, what kind of girls you like? Well, shit, I only like, white girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I mean, you really haven't expanded upon your range. I think there's so many different types of people in the world that, saying it more so as a preference is, I agree with you, not valid. I was saying more so just in the sense like, hey, if you've yet to find someone that you find attractive yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense. So, because whether it be your own race or whatever, we all go through that where it's like, yeah, I don't find this person attractive,
Right. No, I agree with you on that sense. Because I just don't know. For me, I love all races. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm serious at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's chill.
Yeah.
That's why I say I don't close myself off from anything either.
Isn't that crazy that a lot of people do?
Well,
are closed-minded.
Yeah,
about
but what's
things?
crazy is like when you think of the broad spectrum of just like thought processes in the world, upbringing could play a part in that.
Yeah.
Your family values, like your culture,
Yeah.
all that shit can play a factor.
Yeah.
The unknowingness, I don't even know if that's a word, but not knowing what the reaction would be to you dating someone else from a different race, you know what I'm saying, and not necessarily wanting to deal with that potential pressure and stuff. A lot of things can go into it.
That is true, because some cultures don't like people dating outside their race.
Yeah,
so
or outside their religion, outside their
Yeah.
culture, and so within all that,
Very, very true. In that aspect, yeah, and it's just like I do feel like people can be very closed-minded to certain things. Thinking on this, when you were saying that, it brought me to this thought of I had a crazy conversation with my homie the other day when they were talking about people who have their nails painted.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, yeah, I just feel like that's a real feminine thing. And I was like, I think it's depending on how it's being conveyed.
Yeah.
If it's feminine or not. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't just say like every man who wears nail polish is feminine because they have nail polish on. I was like, that's pretty like a closed-minded way of thinking about it, because rock stars have their nails painted black all the time, and we're not walking around like,
yeah, and they be fucking the fuck out of women.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like I can't really box
running
my
through
mind
'em.
in that sense, because I was like, you see goth people out there, nails painted.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people out there.
Well, I just feel like just in general, like orientation is, obviously this is a little different, but I feel like it's treated as it's so black and white, but like I feel like it's like a spectrum too. Like there's times where I'm like, okay, yeah, that's like, this is a good looking dude. I get why she think he, this is a good looking dude. You know what I'm saying? But what is that, gay, or you know what I'm saying? So I feel like more so it's like a spectrum where we can understand certain things and it not be okay anytime you compliment this or something like that it's automatically that way.
People definitely bring that, and I think that comes from upbringing as well, though.
Yeah,
people have a certain way of looking at what is feminine and what is masculine and what is, and they define gay and straight by these.
Yeah, like, oh, you got painted nails. That's what girls do. So you must. And it's like, bro, like, I just like, I don't like the regular color of my fingernails. I wanted them black.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Same thing with like when they were saying the tight jeans thing.
Yeah,
tight jeans is, and then they started saying like, I remember when they said leather pants was.
Yeah,
but then I was just like, our colored pants were. And it was just like,
remember back in the day, you couldn't even have both ears pierced.
Oh yeah,
So you was feminine if you didn't have just the left ear.
You just
pierced.
need one.
Yeah.
Your clothes needed to be baggy. Like you need to have these traits, or you're feminine.
Yeah, or else we know about you, buddy.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
I'm telling the whole school about you. You're like, dang, dude, all I do is I just have on some skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Too tight. I don't get no wiggle room. It's like, dang, man. Like, it's just crazy how But I just think society's way of thinking sometimes can be a little crazy and a little boxed in. I wish we can break out of that box sometimes.
I think just viewing everything just on a spectrum scale, as opposed to just everything being so black and white. Like I say, even with racial preference or not even just dating in general.
Yeah.
And instead of thinking it as racial preference, more so, there's a plethora of different looking people in the world. Be open to it.
Yeah. And you don't. I feel like you don't need to say what race you prefer. You know what I mean? Even if you do feel more attracted to a certain race, you don't need to say that.
Yeah.
But I feel like some people feel the need to say that. But it's not needed, in my opinion. Like, why do I care what race you have? If you're not into my race, why even tell me that you're not into my race?
You just don't like me.
Yeah, just say you're not into me.
Yeah.
You know, like, leave it at that. You don't need to put my whole race down. Like, dang, now I'm looking like, dang, you too? Like, no. Yeah. I got to tell all my whole family, none of y'all can get her.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like, dang.
Oh, I saw you talking to her. She already told me, brother.
None of us.
Don't bark up that tree. Shit.
Yeah, like, too much. I understand I guess in the gender aspect. Like, if you're a girl that prefers girls, yeah, you probably need to tell me that. But in race, like, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you don't like black men.
Yeah.
So I need to look at my color and be like, well, dang, I guess I should have painted.
Yeah, exactly.
Painted myself.
Should I have dressed myself as that EDC demon for you?
So what do you think about the color red?
Yeah.
What do you think about red skin? Does that work for you?
Yeah. Exactly.
I've been thinking. How about Michael Jackson? We wasn't sure in the beginning.
Yeah.
So right now.
So you liked him after or before? It's no way, bro. Yeah, I think just in general, man, like, just be open. Be open.
In fact,